go. Here we go. Here we go live. This light is a bit harsh. Is it harsh? There's something about the lights and there's a little off. My hair's a little rough. Is it a little rough? Rough. All right. So if you can, if you're connected, let me try to make some adjustments. All right. Oh, this is supposed to be part two, actually. Did I title it part two? All right. Welcome, people. All right. Welcome. Let me see who's here. Drop a comment in the comment box if you are attentive, alive, and well. I started off something, I think, was it on the first? I think it was the first day. That was 2 days ago, actually. Hi, hi. Welcome, 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 welcome. The link very quickly. If you have a friend, you have somebody in your world that you love, admire, appreciate, celebrate, care about, think highly of, hope to see more things coming out of their lives, take out time to send this to them very quickly. It's like a free seminar, webinar, even though I'm just talking and sharing, but I think it's going to help a lot of people. So, on today's on Wednesday, and like I said, I'm most likely going to take both videos off or down, right? I'll make them inaccessible after a while, most likely, right? Except I change my mind, but there's a high chance I do that because, like I mentioned, live sessions are supposed to be live, like you should be live when we're doing those sessions. So, very quickly, we just want to talk today about making 2025 new and happy. People say Happy New Year, but how do you make the year new and happy? because for many people, the year might be new but not happy. And for some other people, the year might be happy but not new. So, how do you make it a happy new year? Right? And we started off touching a couple of things on Wednesday. So, if you were here on Wednesday and you want to share some things that stood out for you, drop them real quick in the comment box. If anything stood out for you, in the first video I did, which was the 1st of January on Wednesday, just drop the key points or the learning points in the comment box. Do we have anybody like that here? This feels I learned I understood this. Like everybody's waiting for everybody to say something. This location is not my favorite location for live transmission, but my favorite location, the internet signal is almost non-existent for reasons best known to the service providers, who all seem to be increasing their tariffs this year, or will soon do that. So, was there anybody who was there on Wednesday when we shared? I spoke about quite a number of things, but I think one of the major paradigms was that the heavens belong to God, the earth He has given to the children of men. The implication of that is that the things that happen on earth are not essentially God's business. If I give you a car, if I give you a car and you start using the car, I give you a new car. I give you a new car. You start driving the car and you drive it for maybe 5 years or maybe even 2 years. But the car then develops faults. There's a crankshaft a problem. There's an engine problem. There's a dashboard problem. There's a tire problem. Are those problems my problems? Do you get to blame me for giving you the car? Is it fair to blame me for giving the car? Is it fair to 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 insult me? People say things like, "I don't even know what God is doing." Oh God, oh God. Some people even claim that because the car is now bad, the person that gave them the car does not exist. Yeah. Some people claim that if there's really a car giver, why is the car bad? Guy, you're the person in charge of the car. You're the person in charge of the car. I don't think there's any. I think most people here have gotten gifts. Maybe someone gave you a phone or someone gave you money. Now, if you spend the money on something and then that thing is fake, you can't blame the person that gave you the money for the fake thing that you bought. Buying that thing is your own responsibility. Them giving you money, you can't blame them for giving you money. You shouldn't blame them for giving you money. Them giving you money is a sign of their generosity. So God placing man on earth is a sign of God's generosity. Man damaging the earth, complicating the earth, messing up the earth, victimizing the earth, oppressing the earth, mismanaging the earth, that is man's responsibility. And I think that it will really help you a lot if you start seeing your life in that regard. That what is happening in my life is largely a reflection of what I have allowed so far. What I have allowed so far is gaining expression in my life. I hope somebody is hearing what I'm saying. Let me know if you're hearing what I'm saying. It's good to see you guys. I see the greetings in the comment section. But I need to know that you're following what I'm saying. Yeah. There's got to be that part of you that takes responsibility. Yeah. So a lot of human beings blame God for what they are responsible for. Now, somebody may go, "Oh, I didn't know I was responsible for it." Well, ignorance is not an excuse. Yeah. Ignorance is not an excuse in that regard. Excuse me. Yeah. There's a windy sound. Okay, I think it's the AC. Boom. Excuse me. It's the AC. Is it better? Can you hear me better? Is it better? Let me know if it's better. All right, good stuff. So stop blaming God for what God has put you in charge of. Stop blaming God for what He has put you in charge of. Stop blaming God for what He has put you in charge of. God has put man in charge of the earth. The men that take charge of the earth determine what the earth looks like. It's not God that determines the conditions, the current conditions of the earth. It's like, let me give another example. Cameron and Ronald, they have their room, right? They have their room. And every day they play, almost every day, they play the code, they design things, they're creative, they do arts, some tech stuff, and all of that. And then they also play physically. They throw paper around the place. They have their books, they have their Bible stories, they have their school books, and all of that. And typically, by the end of the day, hey, Manuela, it's good to see you. At the end of the day, what then happens is the room is scattered. So before they go to bed, we have installed in them the discipline of arranging the room. Now, if you see, it's good to see you, Manuela. And it's good to have you at Dream Academy. Guys, Dream Academy starts on Monday. On Monday, Dream Academy starts on Monday. If you have not registered, register for Dream Academy. It is life changing. It's going to really shift things. Yeah. Um, and you can attend from anywhere in the world. In fact, this year, so far, it looks like almost 80 something percent of people are attending online, right? But I really want to do the physical. I really want to do the physical class. So if you're in Lagos, Nigeria, make it a physical experience for you. But if because of work or you're out of the country, you want to be a part of the online class, please be a part of online class. So anyway, so in the house there are different rooms. Even though I am online team works, so even though I'm responsible for the house, they are responsible for their rooms. They are responsible for their rooms. Are we getting the point? Now it's going to be ridiculous for Cameron and Ronaldo to blame daddy for the state of their room when they were the ones that scattered the room. As simple as this analogy is, it's a mind shifting one in that the moment you begin to take responsibility for your room, you will look for what you need to clean it up. Now, once in a while, I may just go, oh, yeah, guys, let's pack up, let's pack up. Then I pick this, I pick that. Once in a while, the mother does the same thing. But typically, we don't do it. They do it. They clean up the room. Now, when I or my wife step in to clean up the room for them, guess what you call that? An intervention, a divine intervention. Now, if they get to a point where, are you getting that? That's a miracle. It's not the norm. Parents are not supposed to clean up their children's room the moment the children can speak, can walk around, and can play. If you're old enough to scatter the room, you should be old enough to arrange it. Therefore, human beings, if you're old enough to mess up the planet, you are old enough to clean it up. Are we getting the point here? So, see your life as a domain of responsibility. Talk to me in the comments. I really need to know that we're together. I really need. Hmm. Yeah, don't just post comments when I'm asking for it. Just be posting comments as you go along so that I know that the internet transmission is smooth. That's like the way I can know. I'm not just asking for the sake of I want to be seeing comments. I'm saying this so I know that I'm not wasting my time. All right. So it's my responsibility. So wherever you're starting from this beginning of the year, don't blame your parents. Don't blame your grandparents. Don't blame your president, right? So the president is in charge of the nation, but you are in charge of your life. So does the nation have an impact on your life? It does. It does. The nation has an impact on your life. That's the truth. But the degree to which it impacts your life can still be regulated by you. And I think this is where many believers are. Many believers will just be crying, 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 crying. Sorry, one moment. Fix my life, fix my life, fix my life. Sorry, there's a message that right. So many believers cry, they do it at the beginning. In fact, let me tell you another issue now. A lot of believers have praying and fasting now. They do it. A lot, many churches, many ministries. The fast, maybe the first week. Some people do first 10 days, some people do the first 21 days, some people do the first 30, some people do 40 days, some people even go extreme and do 100 days. Now, the problem is not it's not the fast, right? The problem is number one, what is the intention behind it? And number two, what's the desired outcome, right? So for many believers, when they fast at the beginning of the year, they are fasting from a place of fear. They don't want to die. Maybe not many, some don't want to die. They don't want to carry last. They don't want to fall behind. They don't want to fail. It's more from the things that they don't want. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to die. I don't want to fail. I don't want this one. I don't want that one. But they're not coming from a place of what God wants, God's intentions for them, God's dreams for them. So that's why you will notice in a lot of African churches, let me ask the question. A lot of African churches, when do people's voices go louder? When do they sound more intense? When they are praying for God's will to be done, or when they are praying against the devil's will? When do they get more intense? Many Africans. And which one do they spend more time on? Which one? Exactly. So many Africans, from their subconscious, are more passionate about opposition than proposition. They're more passionate about anti than ain't I. They're more, you know what I'm saying? They're more passionate about ANTI as against AINTI. So they live more, that's why you've not seen in the last maybe 200 years, you've not seen a lot of inventions. Africa used to be a place, a crucible of inventions, science and technology and all of that. A lot of Africans now spend more time binding the devil than losing themselves. Because the fact that you bind the devil does not mean you are loosed. You can bind the devil and be as bound as him in your mind. So even though you are saved, you're born again, you're delivered from the power of darkness, In your mind, you are still held down. So you explain everything through the lenses of negativity. You explain everything through the lens of what you don't want. You explain everything through fear, not you, those people that do that. So that brings me to the third D. I started with two D's earlier. Yeah. Oh, this year I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about the mind, talking about the mind, the brain as well, central nervous system, thoughts, beliefs, paradigms, experiences, expectations, and how all those shape our reality. Many of us were born into prisons, and then we had prisons born into us or built into us. We're born into prisons, then we had prisons built in us. And when I say prisons, I'm talking about restrictions, structures of restriction. So most of us were told what we couldn't be, where we couldn't go, what we couldn't have. Then we were told who we were, who we could be, what we could have, how far we could go. Come on, people, please. If it's in your power, don't miss Dream Academy next week if it's in your power. And by the way, it's in your power. It just it's whether you're willing to do it or not. Yeah. Mm. Are we getting it? This is important. This is so important. So the first D, who was here 2 days ago? What was the first D? What I rather, what was the first D? I said, who was the first D? Yee. This is why it's good to write things down. There's something I just remembered I was supposed to. Okay, somebody missed it. Born into prison and have built. Yeah, many people do that. Or many people have that. Dear. I want someone. Yes, thank you very much, Gigi. The very first thing is dream. That's the very first thing, dream. Now, I don't want to belabor that. You can watch the video. It's on the channel. You can watch the video. But the reason you must start with that is that the raw material for the things in the visible are invisible. The raw material for the things that are visible are invisible. Everything you see in the natural has an equivalent resource in the immaterial or the supernatural, the spiritual realm that you cannot see. So that's the first thing. The second D is what? Because I want to give us the remaining three Ds. What's the second D? What's the second D? What's the second D? What's the second D? Good stuff. Gigi is going to go far. So the second D is, you got it right. That's it. Dominion mindset. That's the second D. Dominion mindset. Right? That's the second D. Dominion mindset. Sorry, guys. Dominion mindset. That is very important. I'm so sorry. There's something that I saw earlier that is that I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what it is because I didn't write it down or I didn't. It's not cool. dear. I apologize. I apologize. Yeah. So the second thing is dominant mindset, because if you dream and you don't have the right perspective, you will ridicule yourself for your dreams. And there are many people that spend more time laughing at themselves and lusting after other people's lives than believing God, believing in themselves, and then building up their lives. Oh, can we talk right now? There are people who laugh at themselves. You mock yourself. Some of you mock yourself in your heart. You mock yourself in your thoughts. You mock yourself in your imagination. You ridicule yourself. You talk yourself out of what could be yours, what you could live in, what you could be in, what you could have, what you could give, what you could build, what you could develop. You mock yourself. And somehow you find enough emotional energy to admire other people. But when it comes to yourself, you talk down yourself, you lash yourself, you bash yourself, you ridicule yourself. And that's really bad, because that's a defeatist mindset. And I don't know if I shared with you guys about the defeatist mindset, dependency mindsets, and then dominion mindsets. Those are three different levels. And I mentioned that there could be many other aspects. One of the things we're going to do on day 2 of Dream Academy is we're going to really deal with the wrong mindsets. We're going to really take time to break those negative mindsets. Yeah. We're going to take time to tackle. Because a lot of people are not limited by their potential. A lot of people are limited by what they think is their possibility. So most people fail not because they're not good enough, but because they think they're not good enough. Somebody needs to write that down. Send it to me right now. Right? Most people are defeated in the thought realm before they even fight the battle at all. And some of you may be familiar with the fighter called Muhammad Ali. Maybe we'll watch some clips next week, maybe, for those who are part of Dream Academy. Maybe, I'm not promising. And one of the things about him is that before he fought anybody, he would really fight with words. He was a smooth talker, quick talker, fast paced, very charismatic. And he would fight them with his words before he got into the ring. So by doing that, he defeated them before he threw the first punch. His tongue was as weighty as his punch, right? So he fought them with words. Now, let me tell you what, many of us are fighting ourselves with our words. We're fighting ourselves. They'll be like, this year is going to be a great year. Who told you so? This year is my year to shine. Now, wow, but you failed last year. This year, everything is working together for your good. For where? Is it for people like you? This year, I'm going to get married. Which kind of man go find you attractive? This year, I'm not going to borrow money. Do you know your parents are still borrowing money from you and your siblings? How do you think you will not end up being like them? This year, I'm going to travel out of the country. Do you know how much ticket is? Boom, boom, boom. So you're borrowing like this. And that's why most people move a lot, but not everybody covers grounds. Not everybody covers grounds. Movement and progress are two different things. Activity and productivity are two different things. Potential and performance are two different things. Are we getting this? So that then brings us to number 3. What's number 3? Number 3. Does it make sense? And you see, there's a way to control your mind, but most people have not been taught. Most people feel like their thoughts are random. Your thoughts are actually not random. Your thoughts are actually, I don't want to say kingdom, but you can choose your thoughts. Yeah. Let's put it like this. Your thoughts are like food on a menu. Your thoughts are like food on a menu. So you can choose, right, when you're in the restaurant of life, the restaurant of life, the restaurant of possibility, there are waiters that will come with a menu. You can liken these waiters to messengers, so maybe the agents of darkness or agents of God. If a preacher comes and is teaching, preaching, he has a menu. But then a preacher can show you the menu, but you have to decide what you pick off it. A teacher, a coach, a mentor can show you the menu. These things are possible. You can earn $1 million in 1 year. This is possible. You can buy your house in Ikoyi this year. This is possible. You can feed 1,000 orphans before July. Those are menu, is possibilities. The fact that you sit on the menu does not mean you sit in your stomach. What determines whether you sit in your stomach is number one, are you choosing to? Will you choose to? And number two, can you pay the price? Right? So there are many things that are available in the restaurant of life. There are many delicacies that are available. There are possibilities in the restaurant of life. But number one, are you choosing to? And most people feel like because I don't have the money, I can't choose. When it comes to changing your life, you don't put money before the power of your decisions. I'll talk about that. You put the power of your decisions before money. You define what you want to do first. You define what you want to have. And that brings me to the third D. So the first D is dream. Dream. Just let your mind, let the divine pictures. And I'll talk to you about dreams next week. Right. I'll talk about dreams next week and how to know whether it's a dream or an ambition. By next week, I mean people that are in Dream Academy or people that are joining us in Dream Academy. I'm not going to be live here next week on YouTube. If I'm going to be live, I'm going to be live with the Dream Academy community. Right? So that's very important. I want to see whether I can show you some slides, but I know I can share my screen here. So let's see if it's going to download quickly. So number three is this, design. Number three is this, design. Dream and designing are not the same thing. You can dream to have a house, but to design the house will require professional perspective. It will require superior, advanced, or professional perspective. So somebody can say, I want to build a house, 10 bathrooms, 20 living rooms. Maybe a person wants to host the whole world or host the World Cup in their house. 5 living rooms. One needs to be my entertainment living room. The other one is family living room. Other one is for me and my wife. The other one is for, all those are dreams. But then the design has to be more specific, because when it comes to design, it's not just what you want to do, is what's the amount of space. And this is where things like understanding your core comes in. Your core is your inner wiring, your divine design, because every other thing you design has to be subject to your divine design. No matter how ambitious the giraffe is, the giraffe cannot fly. Therefore, the giraffe can dream of flying, but it was not designed to fly. So if it spent its 16 years on Earth being envious of people that can fly, it's also wasting its own design. And I think that for many believers, this is also another contentious place, because they believe that every prophecy is for everybody. Not every prophecy is for everybody, at least not in the way it's going to be detailed or expressed. So there are possibilities, right? So for example, it says, shall lay hands on the sick and they will recover. But it doesn't mean that is somebody gets what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you will now go to the hospital close to your house right now and empty the whole hospital. Are we getting the point here? Every man of God in the Bible, man and woman of God in the Bible, called by the same God, but different expressions, unique expressions. We're not told that Daniel worked a miracle. We're not told that he worked a miracle. but we know his prayers and his prophecies worked miracles. The end times, the person, apart from John the Revelator and the New Testament, who gave us the clearest picture of the end times was Daniel. Paul didn't give us that. It was Daniel that gave us that. Maybe Paul saw some things, but he didn't share. Maybe, but it was Daniel that gave us that. Joshua couldn't part the Red Sea like Moses could, but the walls came down because design is usually a function of divine assignment. Your divine design is a function of your divine delegation. God designs you based on what he has delegated you to do. So he did not give fish feathers because they were not going to need that. He did not give lions, what didn't he give? Fins, because they were not going to need that. He did not give human beings scales. Come on now, that's gross, because he knew that we're not going to need that. So whatever you are wondering, why don't I have, is possibly something that was intentionally excluded from your design list because you did not need it. So stop wasting your time comparing yourself to somebody else. Now, I'm not talking about acquirable skills. They are acquirable skills. So, for example, you can refine your communication, you can refine your presentation skills, you can refine your networking skills, you can refine your ability to understand the word of God. You can. But I'm talking about some other things that you were just not given. For example, your height, the shape of your body, right? Maybe the texture of your voice. So that you might be able to work on that. You might be, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think you can actually. But to a degree, you can work on it to a degree. Anybody getting what we're saying? Share the link with somebody. Share the link with someone. More people should hear this. More people should hear this. So the next thing is design. And that design is, if the year is going to be truly happy and new, you have to craft a design based on your design, based on God's design for your life. What does that mean? God designed Moses for an assignment, to be a deliverer, to liberate people. And Moses, from dreaming of delivering people, just dreaming, he didn't have, so he had dreams, right? He wanted to deliver people, but then he didn't have the dominion mindset. He still had the domination mindset. And there's a difference between dominion and domination. Domination should be over things, not over people. Dominion, right? You should be able to express dominion for the betterment of other people, or dominate things for the betterment of other people. God doesn't want you to exercise dominion over people. So when God gave man dominion, he said, let them have dominion over the birds of the air, the beasts of the field, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the face of the earth, and the fish and all of that. But he didn't say let them have dominion over each other, or over other humans, or over one another. Is this making sense to somebody? Whenever you try to exercise dominion over other people, that's not dominion, that's domination. And domination is supposed to be over things, like subduing things. Are we following that? So God designed Moses to be a liberator, but he didn't tell him he was going to be killing people in the process. So when Moses eventually got around to his divine design, has an encounter with God, goes through process of refinement, then guess what? He then understands, I'm not sent to do everything. God wants us to build a temple, but even though I was great enough to liberate people from Egypt, I'm not the person to design the temple. So there was a guy called Bezalel, and God had to show Moses the design for the temple. So God designed Moses. Moses downloaded the design for the temple based on God's design for him, right? And then give the design to somebody else. So when I'm speaking about design, I'm saying it's still a good time for you to design the year. It's still a good time for you to design the year, to be intentional about highlighting the things that you want to see, the things that you want. I'm downloading something out. I've shown you part of my own design for the year. Anybody gets in this? All right, I thought we had the deal that you're going to be communicating. Oh, well, there's the light still on here. They're going to be communicating whether I ask for feedback or not. So, what's a design? A design is a plan or a drawing produced to show the look and function or workings of a building, garment, or other object before it is made. So, a year that is not designed, right, is a year that may not hold many accomplishments, A year that is not designed. Because the way God does stuff, he designs stuff. So someone can give us Isaiah 46 verse 10. Give us Isaiah 46 verse 10. God designs stuff ahead. Have you designed your day? Have you designed your week? Have you designed your month? Have you designed the year? Another one says a design is a decorative pattern. Do you have a pattern for the year? A rhythm for the year? A flow for the year? Guys, I'm feeling hot. I might need to turn on this AC. So if the volume is affecting you, I apologize for that. But I cannot afford to endure more heat. Please, when you post the scripture, always post it along with a reference. Post it always. Don't post the reference as a different message. Find a way to post both together so that it's easier to cite and not miss. Sometimes network will affect somebody's reception and all that. So design. Now, do you know what? A lot of people don't design their year. One of the challenges with African mind is that it prefers entertainment to empowerment. It really does. And it absolves itself of responsibility. Part of why people don't plan is that they're too lazy to sit for a long time. They're too lazy to think deep. They are too lazy to excavate, unlock, uncover. Another reason is that they've been disappointed for a long time. So they don't want to add to their disappointment. Say, I planned 5 years ago, I planned 6 years ago, and things didn't work out, right? Another reason is people don't want to take responsibility. What does that mean? If I didn't plan and it happened, good. But if I planned as in I designed and it doesn't happen, I'll feel bad, or you'll be able to approach me and say, what happened? But it is ungodlike to not plan. Because Isaiah 46:10 says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, things that are not yet done. And the definition of design is a plan or drawing produced to show the look and function of something before it is made, before it is done. You know, I was meditating earlier today, and this thought hit me. That many times, we just think the opposite of diligence is laziness, right? We think so. And I guess that's correct. But I was thinking about it today, that the opposite of diligence is also negligence. When you just neglect stuff. And Proverbs says that through neglect, the roof of a building caves in, it breaks down. Yeah. My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. That means that God is not accidental, is intentional. So he has counsel concerning something. He has pleasure. He has what will please him. He's not haphazard. Yes, negligence. That's, I'm telling you, and it's in different things. You're not doing your due, they'll say do your due diligence. What did my due diligence? Find out the details behind the scenes, interrogate, investigate. So some of us have lost money because we didn't do our due diligence. Some of us had heartbreaks in relationships because we didn't do our due diligence. Some of us, we've lost great friendships, associations, because we did not do our due diligence. Yeah? Because planning, designing is painstaking. Some of you here are fashion designers, and you know that if you're going to design something that works and not just copy, because there's a lot of copy and paste, we're going to design, it requires brain work. Some of you design slides, presentations, you design books, graphics. Anything that has to do with design means that the mind has to work. Has to work. Should I touch on this? No, I don't want to go too deep because of time as well. So those of you who are not a part of Dream Academy, sign up. It will really, really help. Let me put the link in the comments for people that yep, it'll really, really help. Actually, let me just do that again. Now, I think I said it before, but let me say it again, just in case somebody missed it. There's a difference between dreaming and designing. Don't confuse both. You can have a great dream, but do you have the design? You can have a great dream, but do you have the design? I'm telling you. Do you have the design? And what's the design? Okay, someone wants to build a house. You need an architect. Many times for design, you need help because you know what it is in your head. But when you dream about something, what you see is the finished product. So you don't see the consequences, you don't see the potential fallouts, you don't see potential details. Like I usually say that there's no omonile wala on paper, right? Omonile wala, what does that mean for our international audience? When you buy land in Nigeria, there are different of buying lands. You can buy from an estate, you can buy from individuals, but you can also buy from families that own the land from generations and generations back. Now, that space is not very regulated. So many times when you buy from families, it's usually cheaper, at least on the front end, because it's not very regulated. One. Number two, you bypass a lot of bureaucracy, government bureaucracy or paperwork and stuff like that. But here's the issue. The issue is after you buy from the family, there can be a lot of issues because there might be somebody from another part of the family who feels entitled and felt to cut him out of the deal, or the family might research later and discover that you're actually bigger than you said you were, and then say, oh, we want some more money and all of that. And so many people that buy from Omonile, or some people that buy from Omonile, eventually pay with energy, time, stress, and all of that, which may still be cheaper depending on your stage of life. Right. But I'm saying that when you set out to build, you don't see that on paper. You don't see it on paper. And that's how it is for many of us in our minds, in our lives. When we plan our lives, we don't plan, we dream. And we think that the dream will become a plan. Dreams don't become plans without professional input or experienced guidance or extreme patience and intentional experimentation and deployment of wisdom resources or wisdom assets. See, as I'm speaking, if it's making sense, let me know it's making sense. And it's a round of in about 15 minutes, but I think I want to take questions today. So the design, if the design is faulty, the delivery will be faulty. If you've not designed your year, design this year. You've got to design the 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 year. All right. Number 4. Number 4. I don't know why the networks are really really poor, bad, and I refuse to be frustrated. I refuse to be what? Frustrated. Sometimes I'm just like, we pay all this money for what kind of service in the country? Dun, 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 dun. All right, I don't know if people are still here because I can see comments. So let me know when you're ready for me. Well, I wasn't even just talking about designing the tough part. Okay, I'm seeing those comments now. I'm just talking about my own network as in here. I'm talking about network generally because I'm downloading something, so I don't know why it's taking forever. So number 4 is decisions. Now somebody goes, how can I design but I don't know the details? That's a very good thing. Because in many of our designs, we don't design betrayal into it, we don't design delay into it, we don't design persecution into it, we don't design. So there's already a lot you don't know, which is good. So don't let what you don't know stop you from designing what you do know. But let me move on. We'll talk more about that next week at Dream Academy. Number 4, decisions. If this year were truly new and different, you must have a different set of decisions regarding your time. There are 3 major things you can do with your time, and I share this in my book, Seize the Moment, my second ever book. I have about 10 published books. Number 1 is not design. Number 3 is design. So you can waste your time, which a lot of people do. You can spend your time, which some people do, and you can invest your time, which the lowest percentage of people do. To invest your time means you are putting your time in something that will give you more time or resources later. So let me give an example of investment. And I mean, not everybody has to do that, but a knowledge product is an investment of my time. What do I mean by knowledge product? So Dream Academy is next week. I'm trying to download the slides so you can see all this over 100 slides that I'm going to be sharing over a 5-day period next week. I designed them. I think the first design, well, the first Dream Academy was sort of like I just took different skills and tried to put everything together. Second thing, all the same year, but I think I started creating more like a structured curriculum around 2017 or so. So I designed that about 7 years ago, but I'm going to use it for life. We're going to improve upon it, change some case studies, some examples, some stories, some illustrations. Eventually, maybe next year or 2 years from now, we're going to license that so that whilst there's the Central Dream Academy, there's also Dream Academy in London, Dream Academy in New York live, where I don't have to be the physical person there. That's an investment of my time. When I write any book, I'm investing my time. I'm not wasting it. Why? Because that body of knowledge that I had, I'm now exporting into a format that 100 people can be written at the same time, 1,000 people at the same time, 10,000. That's an investment of time. So whenever you want to do, stuff in decision making, think about it. How am I investing my time differently this year? To spend your time means that you deploy your time without a predetermined outcome or without the intentional desire to increase value for yourself or other people. That's spending. And then to waste your time is to intentionally or unintentionally reduce the quality of your life by devoting your time to things that can never increase value for you. Are you here? It's not just some. Most people waste their time. Most people. Let me give you an example of wasting time. You're working a job. You don't like the job. The job is stressing you. You can't bring your mind to work the job properly, to devote yourself. You're complaining. You smile at work, but you hate them behind your back. And you're pretending. You're wasting your time. You know why? Because you can't create real value for them. You're not creating real value for yourself. And you're in fact spending more time, essentially wasting more time and wasting your life and wasting people's resources. You're in a relationship. Every relationship has some challenges, everyone, right? But this one, people have had drama back and forth. See a counselor, you not see a counselor. Okay. And change your ways, you not change your ways. Either you or the person, regardless, right? And you sense in your spirit that this thing is just not working. That's an example of wasting your time. Because if you're going to spend your time, that means you know that, this is not workable, but let me just spend my time. If you're going to invest your time, you're going to do everything you need to do to ensure that whether you're changing your communication style, your conflict resolution style, you're having proper accountability, you're introducing the person to key persons in your life before you engage the person, right? That's investing. You can invest your time. Or you want to buy land, you have the money. See, the fact that you have money for something does not mean you can afford it. In fact, the fact that you made 200 million naira last year and somebody else made 50 million naira does not mean you are richer. Because maybe you made 200 million naira last year, but your running cost for your life was 100 million. And then the running cost for your business is 70 million. So you're left with 30 million, right? But this other person that made 50 million, the running cost for their life is 7.5 million. The person has 37.5 million. That person actually made more money than you. Are you seeing what I'm saying? There's a lot of vanity metrics all over the place. So make decisions about what your values are, what your investment of time will be, who you will listen to, who you will not listen to this year, where you will go, where you will not be found this year. That's very important. Decisions, we'll talk about the next week. And finally, your deeds, your doings. Don't expect new results if you keep repeating old actions. You might get some new results with old actions, but I'm saying don't expect it. In other words, don't be surprised if your results are not so different. if you keep doing the same things you have been doing. Yeah. I know people that should have attended Dream Academy 5 years ago, and they didn't. And their lives have not really changed. Now, I'm not saying Dream Academy is the ultimate transformation guide, but I think it is really. I don't know of any training, at least out of Nigeria, that is as thorough, as detailed, as exhaustive, and as well structured. I don't know of any. There might be, but I don't know of any. And I know quite a few, right? Know quite a lot. And I know people that came to Dream Academy not having a lot of money. In fact, maybe they use their last money to come. Oh, we have dream stories. They're actually on the portal. Let me ask, is there anybody here who's been, oh, Manuela, thank you for the vote of confidence. But Manuela, have you been on the portal? Have you been on the online portal? Is there anybody here who's been on the Dream Academy online portal? Is there anybody like that? If you have, let me know. I just wanted to share what it's like. No, not the link to the payments. The link to the the course, the online course, the Dream Academy online course, because you paid a while ago, so you should have gotten access to that. I think you're on the group, so I'm sure they shared the link. Yeah. Um, if this was Zoom, I would have logged in to share with you guys. I would have logged in. Let me see. There's something I'm downloading here that is just taking forever. Oh, you have access. You do because it's quite exhaustive. You're going to need a bit of okay, God's gift. Yeah, because we need a 3 day what's it called? Gift. God's gift. I saw that you signed up for the 3 day gift. Have you looked at it yet? Have you accessed it yet? If you have, if there's anybody here who has, just tell us in the comments what you think about it. Let's know what you think about it. Yeah. So what do you think? And are you serious about that? 939. Pardon me, guys. 939-134. All right, so deeds, doing things. Now, let me say this. Deeds can be two ways. Either you do different things or you do things differently. It was rich with knowledge, I would say. The way you took steps to explain from scratch, it was really amazing. Good stuff. But I'm sure you've not exhausted it because there are many there are many guest segments and dream stories and all of that. Okay, I want to show you guys. Utah, how's it been? Tell me. All right, so this is, I don't know if you can see this. This is the Dream Academy Global Portal. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, oops. Okay, so this is what the curriculum looks like, right? There's welcome and introduction. There's all of this stuff. Each module is about 10 to, I think some are even shorter than 10. Let's say about 3 minutes to about 15 minutes. Most of the modules are about that. I can see one that is about 21 minutes, right? So there's all of that, and you can just take your time. So this has importance of clarity, power of dreams, 12 characteristics of a God-given dream. What dream should you pursue? What's your dream? Stages of a dream, clarity, worksheets. So there are worksheets as well online, right? Let's talk about you. Why owe you your own uniqueness? Point us to your purpose, which is a big deal. Point us to your purpose. Different kinds of intelligence, introduction and overview. What is culture? Power of beliefs and values. How beliefs and values are entrenched. The power of the mind. Principles and patterns for productivity. Habits, routines, and rituals. Why communication is important, consequences of poor or ineffective communication, the communication process, communication channels, 10 is just a whole lot of rich material. Yeah, it's a whole lot. So I want to encourage you from any, and then we have all those guest sessions as well. 7 shifts you need to elevate your thoughts from local to global, maximizing your life, how to build an international brand, borderless trade, built for bold, and all of that. I thought we had put the dream stories on here, but it looks like we didn't put the dream stories here. But yeah, we have links to the dream stories. What are dream stories? Those are stories of people that came to Dream Academy years ago and have all become millionaires, right? And when I say millionaires, I don't mean 1 million, 2 million. No. They become millionaires, right? So, and they will tell you that Dream Academy was a major part, for some of them, the major part of the shifts in their lives, in their minds. So, for those of you who have not made that decision, make that decision. I unapologetically implore anyone that wants to do great things, leave out an exceptional year, to be a part of it. Now, for some of you who've made the decision and you have extra resources, extra money, you want to help people, you want to support people, you want to sponsor people, you can do that as well. Either you have people you want to sponsor, your friend, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, somebody in your world, or you want us to find people who want, resources and support to be able to attend. Thank you very much. So these are 5 things. Number 1, dream. Number 2, dominion mindset. Number 3, good stuff. Dito said it was packed. Number 1, dream. Number 2, dominion mindset. Number 3, design. Number 4, decisions. And number 5, deeds. These are 5 things. I know that there are many things flying around: prophecies, prayers, promises, instructions, sermons. All of those are good if they are from God. They're important, but they will not really change your life if you don't sit them or sift them through this 5 things. Tutor said it was packed. One needs to pause after every module to assimilate all that was said. Good stuff. I'm happy that you're seeing the value. So for those who are going to be part of next week, um, instead of repeating, I'll repeat some of the things that are on the online course, but I will go deeper in application, go deeper in sharing experiences, and then of course taking questions, so we can take questions, network, bond, and share more stuff. Thank you very much for riding with me this last 3 days, even though I didn't show up yesterday because yesterday was Talia's birthday, and I just wanted to honor my daughter, my only biological daughter, in that way. It was a beautiful, beautiful day with her and the family, a couple of her friends. She have friends. All right, it was really good. Um, so for those who are members of who have paid for Dream Academy, keep your eye on the WhatsApp group. Information is pouring in there or trickling in there more like. Next week we have a whole week to ourselves. It will really bless your lives. I look forward to an amazing time. Have a good night or a good afternoon, a good day, wherever you are in the world. Talk to you later. By the way, let me just last thing I'm gonna say. If you're here and your heart's like I should be at Dream Academy, you really should. You really should go and find the resources, and there are always payment plans, right? And sometimes the payment plan might even go beyond what we've publicized. Sometimes. But you really should if your heart is there. Good night, everybody. Thank you for appreciating me. Thank you for thanking me. Thank you for being a part of this. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see the others at Dream Academy next week. Bye.